And that's good to go. Okay, everyone, welcome back to Senate. I'm Kiru, EVP, and tonight on our agenda, actually before our agenda, we have roll call. Joel, are we at quorum?
We currently have 20 lovely senators and voting members with us today by my count, so yes, we are.
Yay, perfect. With that, we'll move into our agenda, which we have a justice appointment, a liaison to the press nomination, some Robert's rules, which is going to be some fun times, some exec reports, open floor, and then hopefully adjournment. With that being said, is Emily here?
Yes, hello.
Hi, welcome. So could you please introduce yourself to everyone and a little bit why you want to be a justice?
Yeah, hello, my name's Emily. I'm a fifth year student. I have like this year and another semester left to go, so I'll be here for a little bit longer. I study applied math, and I found out about the open Senate seat through Nick, because we're buddies. And I thought that would be a really fun extracurricular to do at IIT, since I'm mostly only working for the school now, but not doing too much else. And I've always wanted to get a little better idea of how groups like this are run. So I'm excited to be here, excited to see how things go.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that introduction. With that being said, we are going to enter our 5-minute questioning period. So if you are a member or anyone here, feel free to raise your hand, ask some questions so we can get to know Emily a little better. You can also type a question in the chat and I'll read it off. A question from Derek. What do you hope to accomplish as an associate justice?
I would like to be, I mean, from what I know about the job, I feel like I know a little bit, but that there's a lot more to learn. But you know, it's thinking about student problems, thinking about best decisions. So that's something I'm excited to, like, in terms of a personal getting out of it. I think it's always important to like be on panels, kind of like talking about how to make decisions. I feel like you can learn a lot about just like communication, that kind of thing. So I look forward to that. I also consider it to be, you know, if I can put my little bit of time here and there to trying to make good decisions for the school, that would be neat too.
Perfect. Thank you for your answer and your question, Derek. Are there any other questions? Again, feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat. We have 3 minutes left. Lucy asks, what's your favorite fun fact to give to prospective students when you're touring?
Oh yeah, I'm a tour guide, so I give tours.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
yeah.
how does that relate?
Yeah, so I don't know, my favorite fun fact, the one that people go crazy over, I get a laugh every single time, but it's not very funny. In Retaliata Engineering Center, there's the jet engine and car engine that are there. So we take families through there, and I say, I learned that this is a fully functioning jet engine. You can just pop it into a plane and it would go. And then I say something like, it's actually, I learned later, it's very old, so it would be a bad idea. Not that funny, but people laugh every single time. So it's my favorite fun fact. That's not a fact. It's, yeah.
Thank you for that. And thank you for your question, Lucy. We still have 2 minutes. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve. Approved. The motion's been made. Second. Okay, thank you so much, Emily, for your time and for coming to Senate. I'm going to move you into the waiting room and we're going to have a discussion time for about 5 minutes and then vote. Thank you again for coming. Okay, now that Emily's been moved into the waiting room, we will enter our 5-minute discussion period. If you have anything to say, raise your hand, type it in the comments.
I have no idea.
Y'all know the drill. Derek says he thinks she's great. Lucy.
Yeah, I agree. I work with her for the FYE mentor program, and she's always like super engaged, and also like is really good at engaging other people. So I think she would be a great justice.
Thank you for that. Elio says, I feel like she'll be a perfect fit. Is there any other comments? Nick.
Yeah, so I just wanted to speak to why we chose Emily. So she really impressed both me and the other justices. Not only does she seem to be interested in the role, not only because like she wants to actually help the school, which I feel like a lot of people want it because of like the title or something. So I think she's more like selfless. But she seems to bring like a really good skill set. So we gave her like a mock trial and she asked really good like inquisitive questions about like the legalese of everything. So she seems to both have really good motives and really good like legal skills, I guess. So I would really encourage you all to vote in her favor.
Thank you for that, Nick. Is there anything else? We still have about 3 minutes.
I moved the previous question.
Okay, I'm going to need a second. And then quickly in like the participants window, vote like, I think it says yes or no. And then we need 2/3, so.
We're not going to use an official vote for this.
No, because it's just faster and like, we don't have an official voting form.
We do.
No, this is moving previous question, Joel.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I'll give you guys a little more time. Again, we need 2/3 and we're at 5 votes. Moving previous question just moves to voting, by the way. Ours is, it needs 2/3. So we need a couple more
Needs
people.
a half. It only requires majority and then votes yes.
We'll learn about this later. Okay, we have 2/3. Thank you, everyone. Joel, release a voting form, and we will move to our next item of business. Y'all can like unreact, by the way. I don't think it does anymore. Which is a liaison to the press nomination. Akil, are you here? Akil? Sorry. Are you here?
I'm here.
Perfect. Will you introduce yourself and why you want to be our liaison to the press?
Sure. So hey everyone, I'm Akhil, a grad student in data science, senator at SGA Technical Writer. I also serve as a project manager at the Machine Learning Club at IIT, and I'm part of several other student organizations in passive capacity. First of all, I'd like to thank the board for choosing me to be part of the communications committee for SGA. I'm contesting to be liaison to the press for SGA for several reasons. First, being part of the Student Government Association, I think that communication with students is one of the most important things to get students involved on campus, as well as keeping them updated on what is happening in the university. From an SGA standpoint, it would be my responsibility to communicate ideas and topics within SGA to the student body. Whether they are topics related to Senate meetings, student organizations, or student affairs, if elected, it is my responsibility to communicate these points of interest so the students are aware of SGA's work and in general what is happening on campus. How I look at it, it's SGA's responsibility to act as a liaison between the administration and the student body, and it is my responsibility as liaison to the press to actually communicate and reach out effectively to the students. Having worked
Why? You have 1 million ball buttons.
I find it to be a great source of communication within the university. The folks at Tech News have been super accommodating at having our articles be published every issue. And going forward, I would like to have more of SGA be covered on Tech News as well as on other platforms. Some of the platforms that I've been thinking about are using the social media and the YouTube channel of SGA to actually reach out to students. As a nominee for the liaison to the press, I bring to the table proficiency in writing and speaking. I would be more than happy to share some of my work if need be. Further, I like to consider myself a good listener with solid ethics and integrity, which I believe would be valuable assets if I were to be covering SGA's work on the press. Thus far, President Ben Barber and several other senators have been doing some great work covering SGA for Tech News. Some things that I would like to bring in would be more creativity and expressiveness in our articles. Some ideas that I have thought about just from the top of my head are more pictures along with the articles if related, SGA quote of the week, which can be from board members, senators, guest speakers, etc. Also, for the first few issues, I plan to cover a member of the week section, introducing our members, what they serve as at SGA, what they enjoy doing, and maybe some fun facts about them. Yeah, that's about me, and I'd love to hear any questions if you have.
Perfect. Thank you. With that being said, we are going to enter into our 5-minute questioning period. If anybody has any questions, type them in the chat or raise your hand and we will get them asked.
Lol.
Naeem says, what made you want to apply for this position and what inspires you to pursue this role?
Right. Great question. First, I enjoy writing. I've been part of Tech News for a couple of semesters. I love my time there. I love writing for Tech News. I also love reading what's been happening in school, and also the Senate recaps that on the Tech News newspaper have been something that I've always read. And it's what the passion or why I want to pursue this would be to actually instill something different. So I met with Shahan as well as Samir, and we discussed about how we could instill some new ideas into the recaps and how we can make it more creative. So that's my main motivation, is to instill something different and more creative so that more people can actually enjoy reading those articles.
Perfect. Thank you. We still have 3 minutes. So if you would like to ask any questions, feel free. Oh, and thank you, Naeem, for asking the question. A motion has been made to approve. That needs a second. Perfect. And it's been seconded. Thank you so much for presenting to the Senate. I'm going to move you to a waiting room while we have our 5-minute discussion period. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now in our 5-minute discussion period. If you have anything to say, raise your hand or type it in the chats and I'll say it. Jay says very nice. Derek says he seems like he'll bring a bunch of fresh and exciting ideas to the role. Has a lot to say, probably good as a press liaison is what Wyatt said. Elio says that this appointment I feel will be worthwhile for SGA, and Naeem says seems invigorating. Prav says, I have known Akhil and he's very dedicated to what he's assigned to do. Derek moves previous question and it was seconded by Wyatt. Please again, go to the participant window and vote either yes or no. And then lastly, Megana says he was very confident and I feel having a liaison would be great for SGA. We're gonna need a couple more of you to say either yes or no. 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. The previous question has been moved and passed. Joel, release the voting form and I'll admit Akhil back. And we're good to move on. Up next is my Robert's Rules presentation. Warning, it's a little bright. So welcome to a very quick guide to Robert's Rules. Yeah, I did. Who's Robert and why does he have rules? That's a great question. Henry Martin Robert published a book of parliamentary rules in 1876, and it is the most commonly used set of parliamentary procedure in the US. And we use them to help make Senate meetings run more smoothly. How do I make a motion? That's a great question. Typically, you start with I move and then blank. It's used at the start of a sentence to make a motion. So an example would be, I move that we approve this resolution. And it's the building block of Robert's Rules. Almost everything says I move, which means we use it pretty often. Wait, there's different types of motions? Yes, there's a ton, but here are the ones we use almost every meeting. A motion to approve. Either a senator will make a motion to approve or I'll entertain a motion, which just means somebody needs a second. A motion to amend, which means to change a part of the motion or document on the floor. A motion to adjourn, which ends the meeting. A motion to table, which postpones discussion to a later time. Moving the previous question, which ends discussion, but as you guys have just noticed, requires a 2/3 vote. And lastly, the motion to take from the table, which, if you guys could guess, brings back old business. So what happens after a motion is made? It needs to be seconded. As you guys can see, we got a really quick tag team duo here today. And then we move into a discussion period. We use a 5-minute time period in Senate, but time can be extended with, guess what? A motion to extend by blank amount of time. Either somebody moves the previous question or time ends, and then we go into our voting period. How should I act during a discussion? That's a great question. You should be first polite. We use these rules to facilitate a discussion. So please be nice and kind and not like mean to each other. Listen to the other side. Sometimes we get into really heated debates that can have multiple opinions and wilding views. Try to listen, see if you can reach a compromise instead of being like, I'm right, you're wrong, and then we're stuck here until midnight. Nobody wants that.
Motion to table.
Focus on the issues, not personalities. Senate is not like sure you guys all have personal feelings, but that should not be the focus of our discussion time. It should be on what's on the floor. And lastly, be respectful to who's speaking. Like, if we're in person, don't have side conversations. If we're online, don't randomly like unmute yourself and like loudly play a TikTok. Just be respectful and courteous. And lastly, have fun. Because Senate is supposed to be really fun. Are there any questions? Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Snaps all around. Thank you. I will be posting it in Slack later tonight. So if you ever get confused about how to make a motion or why somebody phrased something this way, you can always ask me, as I am currently parliamentarian, since that position has not been filled yet, which run for parliamentarian. And then, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or anybody on eBoard. I'm sure we can answer your parliamentary procedure questions. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled Senate session. Exec reports, which today we just have President Ben Barber.
Okay, tomorrow, General Assembly. Please show up if you have time over the lunch hour from 12:45 to 1:45. We're going to have 5-minute talks from BSU, robotics, esports, Intinium, and Prism. And then it's going to be a Q&A session with President Ekambadi, Provost Kilpatrick, Dean Stetz, Teen Nguyen, and our dear Rachel Hirsch. RSVP form is there. At this point, kind of not overly useful to RSVP, but still show up tomorrow, MTCC Auditorium between 12:45 and 1:45. Will there be a President Provost Forum this semester? We are trying the General Assembly in place of the President Provost Forum. In conversations with Provost Kilpatrick, the perception of the engagement with last year's President Provost Forum was not quite what we wanted. So we're trying this as an alternative format. If this doesn't work to drive more direct student engagement, we'll probably revisit the forums. And then the next slide, BSU Prism SGA combined presentation training on positive workplace cultures, ideally just positive cultures. So if you could scan the interest form, fill out the interest form to help us demonstrate that this is indeed going to be an event that is attended, so we can get money to bring in the speaker and to get pizza to feed the people who go to the training, we would appreciate interest on the interest form. That's in November, so it's like November 20th, right before Thanksgiving break. So it's a long ways off. Don't worry, it's not this week, it's not tomorrow. So if you could fill that out, that would be much appreciated. And I believe Rachel also had some announcements. if Rachel is still here.
Rachel, give me 1 second. I'm gonna refresh this.
Oh, no worries. And I was just talking with the mute on, so I remember
You know
what
what?
they were too. So
Same. I've been doing that kind of often tonight. Oh, wait.
oh, it's not in there, but it's okay. I remember
Okay.
what they are. Okay, so the first one is we are having a dive-in, not a drive-in. The dive-in will be a movie in the pool. It'll be October 21st in the evening, I think from 8 until 9:40. And so that's a fun event to come to. I got a bunch of donut floaties. So we should have people floating in the pool. If you don't want to be in the pool, you can't swim, you're not bathing suit ready, that's fine too. You can just sit in the stands and watch the movie as well. But why not? It's not summer, who cares? Wear a t-shirt in the pool. My mom made me do it all the time just because I am so fair and I burn like no one's business. So yes, now you know my childhood. The second thing is we are having an event called an Industry Insider event. This is November 3rd. You may or may not know, and I think his last name is Huff, LeJalen Huff. He was in BSU and I think in NESB as well. He works for ComEd. He's going to come and speak about his experience as a recent grad. He might have tips and tricks to getting a job outside of the university. And also he has got an awesome job as a design engineer for ComEd. So he and then some possible other people from ComEd are going to come and speak on a panel. That's going to be November 3rd from 5:30 to 6:30. So think about that because that might be a really kind of interesting, fun thing to do. Also support an alum. This event also is going to be very cool because it's going to be alum, current students, and we're going to invite prospective students as well. So we're going to have students who will possibly be Illinois Tech students, meeting you guys, the Illinois Tech students, and then actually looking at your future and their future as alum of Illinois Tech to see what, Illinois Tech can kind of bring to students after their career as a student here. So look out for those two events. They're coming up. They'll be in the newsletter. And then one last thing, which I actually didn't put on, but I'm glad. Tomorrow, there's going to be a big event in the P Club for Hispanic Heritage Month. We have an artist from Pilsen coming and actually painting a piece that we are going to have in the MTCC. So she's going to paint a huge piece. We're going to put it up somewhere for Hispanic Heritage Month. There will also be loads of like crafts you can do as well. And the most exciting part is Georgina and I just went to Dulcelandia and we just got a bunch of candy from lots of countries to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So if you are interested in any of the candy, you should come. If it's just candy or, I don't know, if only for the candy, come and eat some candy. Mango dipped in tahini, you know what it's like. It's very tasty. So I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, just stop by. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I figured. Not I figured that you loved me. I figured that it was Rachel. No worries. And then so we will see you then. And I'm excited. Put all those things on your calendar. That's all I've got.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel. And thank you, Ben. Up next, we have open floor. Does anybody have any new business to bring to Senate? Naeem, did you have something?
Why, yes. Thank you very much, Kira. So, thank you so much for that. So just to update everyone, we're saying RHA is sending an email to all residents tomorrow, advertising our first RHA meeting of the new semester next Monday at 9:15, and we will be having meetings corresponding with every SGA meeting weekly for RHA. We're also starting floor representative applications tomorrow morning, and they will be going on until October 22nd. We encourage all residents that want to represent their floor to apply, and we encourage all residents to attend RHA meetings. My hope is to also get some topics that we might want to discuss directly with ORL staff from you. So if anyone can send me any residence related topics from SGA, perhaps that they would like to share with me, that would be great and would go a long way towards developing our first agenda so that we have something that students actually want to hear about. And that we also take a bit of the pressure off of SGA, and that we kind of divide and conquer in terms of getting information from administration, because our ORL administration will be present at RHA meetings. But I'm super excited. We're all just super excited to finally get RHA off the ground. Flyers will be going up within the coming week as well regarding our weekly meetings and floor rep applications. So definitely be on the lookout. Floor reps will have voting powers later on in the semester and going into next semester. I won't spoil too much regarding the Constitution and whatnot, but yeah. Stay tuned.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Naeem. Yeah, you can basically bring anything to open floor. Elio.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that what I was going to bring up was valid. So me and a few students kind of want to organize something that would involve the entire campus, kind of like I actually told Naeem about this a few days ago, or I think last week, about sort of like a game of tag that involves the entire campus. And it's kind of like we have these people that act as like, I don't know, zombies, I guess, and then these people that are the survivors, and we should we could like decorate campus and make it like super interactive and invite the Kent Law students, yeah, something. No, it's not like Squid Game, trust me. But essentially something that would involve campus participation, and I was thinking we could actually stream it. And since it would be ideally held on Halloween, we could stream it and hold a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness, something that could bring positivity to the university.
That sounds like a great idea. I know if you need any help, I would reach out to Ryan, our VP of events, and he can help you get on the right track with that.
Sounds good.
Is there anything else we want to bring to open floor tonight?
Wyatt did mention something in the chat about the gender neutral bathrooms.
Naeem just said it's top of the agenda for RHA, so thank you for that. Yeah.
We will be getting an answer about that.
Perfect. So seeing that there is no more new business, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Do we need results from the vote?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it after we adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
We need a second.
Second.
Well, okay, it's been seconded. If you would like to adjourn the meeting, unmute yourself and say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Okay, the chair is not in doubt. We have concluded our meeting. Okay. So for voting results, we have liaison to the press passes 13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain. Judicial board appoint nomination. Emily got 13 yes, not 0 no's, and 0 abstains. Congrats on passing tonight. But with that being said, I'm gonna stop sharing and